Well, it's a spectacularly gorgeous day in Miami. Yesterday was actually kind of an ugly day, so I decided I wasn't gonna go vote for Trump on an ugly fucking cloudy day. The weather is fucking fantastic. I'm feeling fantastic, so I'm gonna go vote for the next president via landslide, Donald J. Trump. And I must say, as I drive to the early voting location, I must say, I don't feel that necessarily excited about what I'm about to do. And I think that's because voting for Donald Trump is as important and significant as I think this election is. Even though I was an anarcho-capitalist once who thought voting was a scam. As important as I think this election is, I think we all should know, as Trump supporters, that Donald Trump is not going to be a president who goes in there and does everything for us. He's just a messenger. He said it himself at his rallies before. He's just a messenger. So when I vote for Trump, I know that the work still continues. I know that just because Trump gets elected and just because there's this electrifying movement behind Trump, I know that doesn't mean that all my problems are going to be solved. I know that doesn't mean that happiness is going to be given to me by Donald Trump. I know that means that at the end of the day, I still have to work on empowering myself. Of course, I would argue that the average Trump supporter is a mentally empowered person. And that's why there's so much energy behind this movement. That's why there's so much just unabashed self-preservation behind this movement. That's why there's so much willingness to be politically incorrect. I know that no matter what Trump does, I still have to do my part to develop my own life. Putting Trump in power is not so that he can fucking make my life better for me. Putting Trump in power is just so that we, the people who like and agree with and support the Trump movement, we can have somebody in power who restrains the beast of government and acts as a sort of negotiator on our behalf. Trump isn't doing things for us. We're using him as a representative, as a messenger, to do things on our behalf, to do things because we demand it. Much different than, oh, Bernie Sanders, please give us free shit, I don't want to work. So, as I drive to the early voting location, I'm driving with a sort of sincere kind of calmness, not necessarily giddy. I'm just doing it because I know that I have to as part of my own journey and development. So I'll see you at the voting location. So I'm here. Here is the really cool Trump encampment. They've built a wall with signs. They've built a wall with yard signs. And they have a really cool Trump sign. How awesome is that? And one thing you'll notice is that most people here, notice that most people here, they're talking in Spanish. So these are, I suppose, Cuban immigrants who are pro-Trump. So the idea that just because you're pro-Trump, you're some kind of racist, anti-immigrant, anti-Hispanic bigot, well, that's not necessarily true. Go ahead, I'm gonna ask these guys here if they've seen a lot of Hillary supporters. Una pregunta, ¿ustedes había visto mucho Hillary supporters?
No, hay un grupito por allí, pero están perdidos de esta lista.
Está perdido. They say they haven't seen that many Hillary supporters. One guy says like 2 or 3 people over there, but ¿y eso gente ahí quién son? ¿Son para Hillary?
USA.
La gente...
4 por allí.
No.
Están perdidos.
Están perdidos, they're lost. ¿Y tú? Ahora me dijiste algo, ¿lo puedes decir otra vez?
Que la mayor parte de las personas que pasan por aquí, todas van a votar por Trump. Ninguno de ustedes que va a votar por él.
He said that the majority of people who pass through here are voting for Trump in his experience.
Queremos saber dónde va a ser la fiesta ya de celebración.
Oh, ya lo ganó, ya.
Él ganó.
It's over.
Eso está ganado.
You already won this shit.
Con todas las trabas que había.
¿Ustedes de qué país son?
Cubano.
Cubano. Everybody here is Cubano.
Cubano por Trump. Cubano por Trump.
Cubano for Trump.
Cubano por Trump.
Here we got a woman for Trump, Cubana for Trump, Cubana for Trump, Honduras for Trump. Why do you think Cubans are supporting or voting for Trump?
Well, first off, I don't know if you heard, but the Bay of Pig veterans, they gave their first ever endorsement and they gave it to Donald Trump. And the reason is because lately you've seen how Obama and Hillary has endorsed this relaxation of the embargo with Cuba. And a lot of the older Cuban generation and those that voting Cubans are against it. And since they're against it, vehemently against it, with Donald Trump saying he's going to go against what Hillary Clinton's saying, that he's going to make sure that first Cuba gets better with their human rights and they start moving more towards a free Cuba, then we could see about lifting or, the sanctions easing up on them a bit. But the way it's going right now, that we're just giving everything to Castro, it's just not working, and the Cuban voters see that, so they're going overwhelmingly with Trump. But like I said, first ever time they've endorsed a presidential candidate. They flee from a communist regime, which they already know. If you notice, most Cubans here, they warned the Venezuelans about what was coming with Chavez, and now we see what's happening over Venezuela, and it might be a little too late for them, but they know where that road leads down, the road that Hillary Clinton and Obama are going towards. So they've already seen this before. They've heard that stick before back with my grandparents, and my parents fled Cuba because I'm also Cuban American. So I grew up, as most Cuban Americans grow up here, knowing about what happened and how communism affected them and how they had to flee the island.
Fascinating. All right, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it, man. Okay, I'm gonna go enter and vote now. It's in there. Unfortunately, you can't videotape. It's like against the laws in Florida. You're not allowed to videotape within inside the voting location. So I can't show you guys me actually voting in there, but I'll update you when I get out. Let's go vote for Trump. Well, I did it. I voted for Donald J. Trump. I got the cliched I voted sticker on my shirt. There it is. Does voting matter? Does it count? Does it really have an impact? Is it the best way to achieve change in life? Got all the Trumpsters back there. I don't know. I do think that if enough group of people unite under similar values, i.e. the Trump movement, and we all sort of vote to believe that there is a power structure in place that's going to do, it's going to operate as a government on your behalf, I think it's a step in the right direction. I don't think it's necessarily perfect. There's a lot of potential shortcomings. That was one of the things I was thinking while I was waiting in line there. I'm thinking to myself, how valid is this approach? I mean, I'm sitting here in a line. I'm gonna put a check mark on a fucking piece of paper and submit it. Is that really gonna make my life better? But again, remember, it's not about making my life better, as I said earlier. It's about the messenger. Who is the messenger? I think if you're electing somebody because you want that somebody to run your life for you, then yeah, I think that you're wasting your vote. But if you're electing somebody because you just want them to be a sort of representative or a figurehead, not necessarily to run it, but more just to be there as a messenger, exactly as it's been stated before, as a messenger. I think that's a big difference. And I think that's why this form of voting actually does work.
And she can't make it 15 feet to her car. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Fight back against YouTube censorship by supporting me on Patreon. You'll also get access to exclusive, never-before-seen videos and other perks like monthly Google Hangouts with me, free books and t-shirts, and more.